Okay, we are back for our arithmetic review, okay? So I will split it up probably. It's review time because review is so important, and then our new concept. So I want you to look carefully because we have our addition that we've normally been doing in our classroom, and I want to push you, so I want you to be looking carefully. So hopefully you can see it a little bit to be able to say those answers. So it starts with 4, 7, 12, 14. Good. I think I heard some of you. 19. Carry over my 1. 1, 10, 13. Good. Then, so 30. Carry over my 3. Just my ladies. 3. Good. I heard you ladies. Stay up with me. Gentlemen, you were supposed to be paying attention. What comes up here? 2. Very good. 2. Did you say 27? I hope so. I think I heard some of you. Now everybody. What did you come up with? Did you come up with 35? Excellent. All right, well, we'll check and see if it's correct. So let's go back up. Ready? Just my gentlemen. Good. 19. So far, we're doing all right. All right, ladies. $30. Did you get 30? Good. Everyone? What did you come up with? Did you get 28 again? Good. $27. Excellent. Everybody again. Yes. Awesome job, third grade. So what is our answer? 357,000. I don't even know if you can see that one. 357,809. 357,809. Very good. So think carefully. Keep practicing your addition skills so you can get faster and faster and faster with this, because I know you can do that. All right, so now we're going to come back over, and I'm just going to get closer so you can see those properly. We're going to solve for D. And remember, when we solve for D, we solve the side that we know how to answer first, right? So we look and we do 8 times 8, which is what, Evan? Good. Make sure you're paying attention. 64. And then we bring everything else down, right? All right, Jediah, what do I have to do next? Okay, so we have to get rid of my 4s so that I can just have D. But how do I get rid of that 4? If it's already negative, then I have to do the opposite process, which is add 4, right? So whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. And keep it neat, guys. Keep it neat, third grade. Put them right underneath. D minus 4 plus 4, 64 plus 4. Put your lines underneath. Cross out, because negative 4, if we started on that number line with negative 4 and we added 4 to it, we end up with what? Right? We end up with 0. So that's why that gets crossed out, because it's nothing. So our D comes right underneath here with our equals. And what is 64 plus 4? Right? 68. Very easy. And then we have to plug it in to the top problem. Now D is no longer D. It is now our number, 68. 68 minus 4 equals, we plug it up here, not here. up here. 8 times 8, because we're going to check both sides. So now 68 minus 4 equals, obviously, 64, and 8 times 8 equals 64. And then we check. Put a check mark to show that you checked it. Did you get that? Easy, right? You can do that easily. All right, now I'm going to move this down so you can see the next problem and still keep it somewhat close. Sorry, I'm like moving you all over the place. But we'll do our next problem. R plus 13 equals 7 times 12. So the first thing that we have to do is the known side, the side that we know, right? 7 times 12, 84. Write it underneath. Then we bring everything else down. Equals 13 plus and R. So now we need to get rid of our 13. How do I get rid of my 13? This time I'm just going to subtract it because it's already at 13. And so we need to take 13 away so that we end up with nothing, so that we can have R by itself. But what I do to one side, I must do to the other. Very good. So if I have minus 13 here, I have to subtract 13 here. So now I have R by itself equaling, what is 4 minus 3? And what is 8 minus 1? R equals 71. Well, how do we know that that's totally correct? The only way that we're going to know that that's totally correct is if we plug it in, plug it in. So plug my 71 in for my letter. And I'm going to write 71 plus 13. I always follow what's right here, equals 7 times 12. And keep it nice and neat so I can tell that's what you're doing. Your equal signs should pretty much be right underneath each other every time, okay? So now I'm going to add. Remember, we can add going across. We know how to do the ones place and the ones place equals 4. The tens place and the tens place equals 8 equals, I know this is probably a little too low, you can't even see it, but then 7 times 4 equals 84. And if 84 equals 84, then we just put a check mark, right? So that's all that you're doing for those problems. Think that through carefully. And now we're going to review dividing our money. So we've talked about that the past couple of days. How do we divide our money? Well, the first thing that we do is just like we regularly do. We figure out how many 8s are in 3. How many 8s are in 3, third grade? Right, there are no 8s in 3. So because there are no 8s in 3, what do we need to do? Go into both digits. Oh, before we do that, I keep forgetting. What do we have to do first? Oh, I heard somebody. I think, Ava, maybe it was you. Right, we have to bring our decimal point right above. Just bring it right above. Because you know that this is your dollars place and your cents place. It's going to stay the same. So bring your decimal point up first. Then we figure out that we can't divide into 3. 8, how many 8s are in 3? It's how many 8s are in 35, both digits. So count by 8 till you get to 35 or close enough to it, but not over it. Make 35 marks if you don't know. 35 marks, circle every group of 8, okay? Or just simply know what 8 times whatever is that is closest to 35, okay? 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, oh, wait, I don't need to go to 40, I need to go to 35. Oh, my closest is 32, and my answer is 4. How many 8s are in 35? There's 4 8s in 35. And then after I divide, I have to multiply. 8 times 4 equals, we just said, 32. After I multiply, I have to now subtract. 35 minus 32 is 3. I have to compare. Is 3 less than 8? Obviously, sure is. And then I have to bring down. I bring down my 8. Now I have a new number. Now, don't forget, my 4 goes over my 5, not over my 3. It goes closest to my decimal point. Now, I don't know about you, but I think if you're thinking with me, you're like, oh, we already know the answer to this one. Because when we did our 8, 16, 24, 32, we knew that the next number was going to be 8 times 5, which is 40. It's going to be too big. So guess what? We already know the answer to this one because it's going to be the same thing. It's still going to be 4. There's only 4 8s in 38. Okay? So, because that's not even as big, that's only 3 away, and we know if there wasn't 8 in this one and there's 3 left over, there's not going to be 8 in another group of 8. Anyway, don't worry about that. Hopefully you were able to think that through with me quickly and go, oh yeah, if it's 38, then it still has to be 4, because the next one would be 2. Still 40 would be too large. So after we divide again, how many 8s are in 38? 4. Multiply 4 times 8. Again, it's 32, just like it was last time. Subtract 8 minus 2, 6. Compare, is 6 less than 8? Not a lot, but it definitely is. And then we bring down again. Draw a longer arrow. Bring down your 4 next to your 6. And then you ask, how many 8s are in 64? So how many 8s are in 64? And we actually just did that on this problem over here. So we should know that there are 8 8s in 64. If you don't, you're going to have to draw 64 marks and circle every group of 8. Or count by 8s till you get to 64 or something close to it on your fingers. So, and I don't want that, but make sure that you divide, put your answer, quotient always goes on the top, and then after you divide, you multiply all over again. 8 times 8, 64, subtract, it is 0, compare, is there anything left to bring down? No, so we're done, except for the fact that, oh, we got to put our $ here. And then we could check it. I don't have a lot of room over here to check, but $4.48 times 8. 8 times 8, 64. Bring the plus sign. 8 times 4, 32, plus 6, 38. Bring over the 3 with a plus sign. And then 8 times 4, 32, plus 3, 35. Bring your decimal point directly down or two places from the right. $ in front. Do they look the same? Then we've done it correctly and we're all done. Okay? That's all that it is. So think carefully. You know how to do your division well. Most of you do. Those that have been practicing consistently, you know how to do your division. You're just using the same steps of division, 5 steps of division. Multiply, subtract, compare, bring down, to do these as well, okay? So the more, like I told you, you've got to keep practicing. We can't just say, oh, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to leave it. No, you've got to keep practicing that division because it's not going away. And it's just going to get harder if you're not learning it. Then we have our next division problem. How many 9s are in 70? Well, you need to count by 9 until you get to 70 or something close to it, but not over 70. And if you know your 9 table, remember, if we think about how our 9s switch, we know that 72, because 27 is 9 times 3, 72, 9 times 8, that's way too big. So we are going to have to go with 7. So 7 goes, oh, Isla, what did I forget to do? Oh, I keep forgetting. First thing, the very first thing. Yes, Avery, I heard you too. Thank you. Put my decimal point on the top. I'll remember that one day. I will. You just remember it. As long as you remember it, we're good. Put your decimal point right above. Just bring it right above. Then how many 9s are in 70? We said there were 7. So then I can write my 7 right next to my decimal point, okay? Not over my 7, but over my 0. And now I multiply 9 times 7, which is what? 63. Very good. And after I divide, I have to subtract. And so we have to obviously borrow. Take 1 away. 10 minus 3, 7. Compare. Is 7 less than 9? It sure is. Not by a ton, but it is less than 9, okay? And that's important that we know that. Then I bring down my 5 next to my 7. Now I have my new number, which is 75. How many 9s are in 75? I'm hoping you don't have to draw 75 marks and circle every group of 9. Hopefully you know your 9 multiplication table and you know that it's going to have to be 8. It's going to be 8. And 8 times 9 equals 72. And then I subtract 75 minus 72 is 3. Is 3 less than 9? Definitely is. Then I have to keep bringing down because there's another number. Our other number 6 has to be brought down. Then I have to divide all over again. How many 9s are in 36? You should know that. There are 4. Excellent. And then I multiply my newest outside number 4 times my 9. 4 times 9 equals 36. Subtract 0, compare again. There's nothing left, so I'm done with my problem except I ought to put my dollar sign. Very good. And then we check. $7.84 times 9. 9 times 4. Good. 36 plus 3. 72, that goes over the 8. 72 plus 3. 75. Then carry over my 7. 9 times 7. 63 plus 7 is 70. And then my decimal point comes directly down or 2 places from my right. My dollar sign goes in front. And I see if the answer is equally total. And if they do, we are good. We've done it correctly. So think carefully when you're doing those reviews because I really want you to get them. That's why I spend the time with it. Go back over your 10 and 11 multiplication and division tables. Say them, say them, say them. You've got the video up in the little general area up at the top. So watch that, say your 10 and 11 division tables, review this with me so that you're practicing those every day. I will be back with our lesson for today. And it's like, boop-a-doo-doo. You've probably already seen the page and it's pretty exciting. So we'll get back to our lesson in just a second. See you in a minute.